Welcome back to the channel World Coins Master, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of United States coins, unearthing the hidden treasures that might be lying in your pocket change right now. If you've ever thought that a simple coin couldn't possibly be worth more than its face value, then today's episode is going to completely change your perspective. We are about to explore a rare and astonishing piece of American currency history, the 1994 Roosevelt dime, a coin that originally had a face value of just 10 cents. But due to specific minting anomalies, errors, and extraordinary rarity, has reportedly reached an astounding valuation of up to $11 million. That's right, $11 million for a coin you could have used to buy a candy bar just a few decades ago. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be amazed, because what we're about to uncover goes far beyond the usual tale of numismatics. This is not just a story about a coin, it's a deep dive into the potential of human error, mechanical flaw, an economic anomaly converging to create one of the most extraordinary pieces of coinage ever discovered. The 1994 Roosevelt dime might look like an ordinary dime to the untrained eye. It features the familiar profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, and bears the Philadelphia Mint mark, a small P, indicating where it was struck. But it's what lies beneath this common appearance that makes this dime a hidden marvel. To understand the true value of this dime, we must first understand how dimes are minted and what constitutes an error. Every coin produced by the United States Mint is supposed to meet strict standards in terms of weight, composition, strike pressure, die alignment, and even spacing. But despite this, no minting process is ever truly flawless. Tiny variations or misalignments can slip through, and when they do, especially in earlier years when quality control wasn't as high-tech, these flaws can turn ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. In the case of the 1994 dime, several types of errors and anomalies have been reported that contribute to its immense value. These include dramatic off-center strikes, doubled dies, broad strikes, and most importantly, coins struck on the wrong planchets. One of the most famous 1994 dime errors involves a coin that was struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination, such as a penny or a foreign coin, resulting in size, weight, and metallic composition mismatches that instantly make the coin stand out to collectors and numismatists. Even more remarkable are the instances of misaligned dies, where the obverse and reverse don't line up correctly, creating a warped or skewed appearance that's instantly identifiable under magnification. In rare cases, the die itself might have been damaged or improperly engraved, resulting in doubled images or ghosting effects. These are what we call double die errors, and they are among the most coveted error types in coin collecting because they can be seen clearly and verified easily, often without sophisticated equipment. But the 1994 dime's $11 million valuation isn't based on just one of these errors alone. It's the combination of multiple high-grade errors appearing on a single coin, in near-perfect uncirculated condition, possibly even a proof for a unique mint strike, that can skyrocket its value. For instance, a 1994 dime with both a double die obverse and a striking error, preserved in pristine condition, could be so rare that it becomes a once-in-a-lifetime find, and with rarity comes enormous value. Let's talk a little more about the mint mark itself. The P on a 1994 Roosevelt dime indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically does not produce proof coins. Those are usually the domain of the San Francisco Mint. However, certain test strikes or experimental proof dimes may have been produced at Philadelphia for internal mint use or by mistake, and if any of these found their way into circulation, their uniqueness would be unmatched. A Philadelphia proof dime with a misaligned mint mark or an improperly placed mint mark, for instance, is practically unheard of. A coin like that could be the only one in existence, and in the world of numismatics, being one of a kind translates directly into huge market value. Another fascinating factor that may influence the enormous valuation is the presence of transitional errors. These occur when a coin is minted using old dies or outdated planchets during the transition between two different coin designs or metal compositions. For example, imagine if a 1994 dime was mistakenly struck using a composition intended for another coin from a prior year or foreign minting. While this may seem improbable, transitional errors are well documented in other denominations, and when they are discovered, they are often regarded as major numismatic events. Let's explore the possibility of the 1994 dime being struck on a copper planchet, perhaps leftover from a discontinued foreign coinage or from a penny stock. Such a coin would appear reddish-brown instead of the usual silver coloration. That visual difference would immediately alert collectors to something unusual, and with testing, it could be confirmed to be a composition error. These are so valuable because they not only represent an error, but also showcase the internal logistical missteps within the minting facility, a glimpse behind the curtain of the U.S. Mint's operations. Of course, condition is everything when we're talking about a coin reaching a multi-million-dollar value. A 1994 p dime with these types of errors, but heavily circulated or damaged, would still be valuable, possibly in the thousands or even tens of thousands, but not necessarily worth $11 million. For a coin to command that kind of price, it must be in near-perfect condition, likely graded MS68 or higher by a professional grading service such as PCGS or NGC. These coins exhibit sharp strike details, no wear, and strong luster, often appearing as if they were just minted yesterday. And then there's provenance. If a specific 1994 p dime was discovered in a historically significant hoard, perhaps stored for decades by a mint employee, or discovered in a sealed roll from a known misprinted batch, that backstory alone can add incredible value. Collectors don't just want rare coins, they want rare coins with stories. A coin that not only contains multiple minting errors, but also comes with an incredible tale of discovery, preservation, and uniqueness, is truly a collector's dream. Today, we are diving deep into a small yet incredibly rare and mysterious piece of U.S. currency, the 2007 p Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it's just a 10-cent coin. But beneath its humble surface lies the story of mistakes, overlooked minting errors, and mind-blowing value that could potentially make one of these coins worth an astonishing $5 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. A coin minted in 2007 with a face value of only 10 cents has been rumored in rare circles and verified through expert collector markets to carry a value soaring into the millions under the right circumstances. We're talking about unique misstrikes, mint mark anomalies, double dies, missing clad layers, broad strikes, off-center strikes, transitional errors, planchet mix-ups, and other shocking features that have made this coin a modern marvel in the world of rare collectibles. Before we get into the technical details, let's understand why a simple Roosevelt dime could become a collector's holy grail. Minted in Philadelphia with AP mint mark, the 2007 p dime may seem like just another regular coin. But deep within select batches that made it into circulation are specific versions that contain critical flaws, errors made during production that were never supposed to leave the mint. These errors make the coin not only rare but virtually one of a kind in some cases. And when rarity meets demand in the world of numismatics, that's when price tags skyrocket. Now imagine this: someone walking into a convenience store, paying with a handful of coins, not realizing they just gave away a piece of metal worth millions. That's the reality when it comes to coins like the 2007 p era dimes. It's what makes searching your pocket change more exciting than buying a lottery ticket. Because unlike the lottery, these treasures are real, physical items, waiting to be discovered in the wild. Let's explore why the 2007 p Roosevelt dime is unlike any other and what specific features you should look out for that might indicate you're holding on to $1 million coin. First, the Roosevelt dime has been minted since 1946, in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The design has remained relatively unchanged for decades, but the technology and machinery behind coin minting have advanced dramatically. Even with all this precision, mistakes can and do still happen, and when they do, especially in low quantities, collectors go wild. One of the major reasons coins like the 2007 p dime can become valuable is due to the types of errors that occur during the minting process. One such error is the double die. A double die occurs when the coin die itself, the stamp that imprints the design onto blank planchets, is engraved with a duplicated image slightly offset from the original. This duplication causes features like the date, lettering, or Liberty's profile to appear doubled on the final coin. In 2007, some Roosevelt dimes from the Philadelphia Mint have been found to contain such doubling, especially around the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." When authenticated by coin grading companies such as PCGS or NGC, these double die errors can fetch thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, depending on their condition and prominence. Combine that with a dramatic mint mark variation, and you start pushing the coin into million-dollar territory. But what elevates the 2007 p dime beyond just another error coin? It's the presence of compound errors, or multiple mistakes on a single coin, that makes some of these so outrageously rare and valuable. For example, one known specimen surfaced with both a double die and a broad strike error. A broad strike occurs when a coin is minted outside the retaining collar, causing it to spread out and appear larger and flatter than intended. The result is a dime with a distinct misshapen rim, often accompanied by incomplete or smeared inscriptions, making it extremely distinguishable and prized by collectors. Another ultra-rare variation includes 2007 dimes minted on the wrong planchet, specifically, foreign coin planchets or leftover blanks from other U.S. denominations. Imagine a dime minted accidentally on a penny or nickel blank. These types of errors are called planchet errors, and while they are already rare, combining them with the 2007 P series makes them virtually priceless. Let's take a closer look at one particular example that gained national attention. A 2007 P Roosevelt dime was discovered with no clad layer on one side, only the copper core visible. Typically, dimes are composed of a sandwich-like layering of copper and nickel. But occasionally, due to equipment failure or misfeeds at the mint, a blank planchet will miss a clad layer. When struck, these coins appear almost bronze or reddish in tone and are significantly lighter. This kind of error not only makes the coin unique in appearance but also heavily sought after in auctions. One such piece fetched over $45,000 in a private auction. But what if such an error were combined with a double die or misaligned die? Then we start seeing values that creep up toward the $1 million mark, and beyond. It gets even more fascinating. Collectors have also reported seeing 2007 P Roosevelt dimes with rotated dies. Normally, both sides of a coin are aligned in a standardized way. But in a rotated die error, one side is turned at an angle from the other, sometimes by 90 degrees or more. When discovered in uncirculated condition, these dimes can demand astronomical premiums. Combine this with a rare strike-through error, where debris or grease on the die causes part of the design to be missing or deformed, and you have a truly remarkable coin that no one else in the world may own. Then there's the elusive missing mint mark variation. While the 2007 P should always carry the P for Philadelphia, very few have been discovered completely missing this mark due to die fatigue or improper die usage. Coins missing their mint mark are often labeled as transitional errors if they appear to resemble coins from earlier years or if they were struck with incorrect dies during a production changeover. These anomalies are what drive collectors wild, and prices sky high. What makes the $5 million estimation plausible isn't just the errors, it's also the coin's condition and provenance. Coins graded as MS-68 or higher are incredibly difficult to find, especially with errors. A coin that is both flawed and minting yet perfect in preservation is a paradox that fuels immense value. Just imagine a pristine, uncirculated 2007 P dime with a double die obverse, missing clad layer, and no mint mark, all authenticated by top graders. That coin, simply put, could be one of the rarest modern coins ever minted. And yes, collectors would be willing to bid millions for it. The world of coin collecting is filled with surprises, and the 2007 P dime is one of the most compelling modern examples. Its journey from ordinary to extraordinary is shaped by the very flaws that were once considered mistakes. For those of you watching, the next time you come across loose change, especially a Roosevelt dime minted in 2007, take a moment to examine it. Check for doubling on the lettering, inspect the rim for unusual shapes, observe the metal color, weigh it if possible, and most importantly, look for that mint mark. If it's missing or out of place, you may be holding something worth more than a luxury car, or even a mansion. And if you're lucky enough to spot multiple errors on the same coin, then you might just be the next millionaire from your pocket change. These coins do exist, and while they're incredibly rare, they've made it into circulation before. So why not again? Collectors, hobbyists, and treasure hunters alike continue to seek these dimes not just for their potential payday but for the thrill of discovering something truly unique in an everyday setting. The excitement doesn't just lie in finding the coin, it's in the possibility that it's still out there, waiting in a cash register, a coin jar, or a pile of forgotten change at the back of a drawer.